Hello students, let us discuss the next part of the lesson, food security. Okay, yesterday we have discussed about how to increase the food production. So when government provides facilities to the farmers, then they will produce the more goods. Okay, then we will get the food security to whole country. So first of all, we have to find how much food is available per annum or per person per day. That is more important to produce food more. So how to calculate availability of food grains for the year already we have discussed. So first of all, we have to take the production for that particular year plus add the net imports and deduct the stocks, then we can find the availability of food grains for the year. Then after we have to calculate availability of food grains for person per day. So later, so availability of food grains for the year divided by population, again divided by 365 days if we take, so the availability of food grains or person we can find. So already we discussed in the previous class about how much food grains per person per day available. So in the 2011 460 and in grams, and 2020 490 grams available for per person per day. So below half kg. Okay, so now shall we discuss about food grains? What falls under food grains? So here table given food grains. So food grains are different types: edible oil, cereals and pulses. So already you know oil seeds. Next, cereals. Cereals again two types: coarse cereals. Coarse means rough or hard texture cereals. So those are jawar, ragi, bajra and other millets. I think most of the students don't know about these coarse cereals. So nowadays actually doctors are encouraging people to take this type of cereals. Okay, next another one is fine cereals, rice and wheat. Regularly we take rice and some people take chapati. Okay, that is prepared with wheat flour. Clear? These are all comes under food grains. Okay, mainly many believe the coarse cereals to be inferior grains. So once upon a time, rice is the costliest food. Okay, so most of the people ate only these coarse cereals only, but nowadays people thought that it is a inferior grains because these are called coarse grains. We think these are rough and unhealthy. So why? Because we don't have that knowledge. Okay, on the contrary, these are highly nutritious and wholesome grains. So now some people taking off day these food either in breakfast or in lunch. Okay, these are staple diet of millions of people living in the dryland regions of the country. Most of the people who don't have irrigation facilities, even in Telangana also, once upon a time most of the people in Telangana used to eat this type of coarse cereals. Okay, now they are shifted to eat rice and wheat. Once very common in Indian households, the label coarse cereals come with colonial rulers who preferred the white color or rice and wheat and looked down upon local food and cultural practices. Today, many prefer to call these cereals nutri cereals. So once upon a time, those called coarse cereal, but now started calling nutri cereals instead of rice and wheat. Most of the people preferring to take these foods. Now the production of these coarse cereals are increasing in our state as well as in our country. Next, availability of other food items. So it is said that there is a change in consumption pattern with people demanding more fruits, vegetables, milk, meat, poultry, and fisheries. So once upon a time, the people ate only one item, one type, regular type of food. Now the most changes came in the food consumption. So now people are preferring to take different type of food grains and food like fruits, vegetables, milk, meat, okay, poultry and fisheries. This is good sign for the consumers as well as producers. So consumer will get more nutritious food and carbohydrate food through these food items, and producers, farmers also can change their pattern, okay, crop pattern to produce all those. Consumers need a diverse food basket and a balanced diet. So nowadays, for every day, they are preparing a new different dish in every house. So they are taking diverse food. Farmers producing food grains can go for crop diversification in order to increase their incomes. So they can produce either vegetables, either they can grow fish, or they can maintain poultry to get more income. Okay, so conversion of food grains feeds into cash crops such as cotton in Telangana during the last decades. So now the people or farmers are changing their crop pattern, and they are producing cash crops more like cotton, chili, okay, other sugar cane like that. Okay, so this was one of the reasons for farmers distress and even suicides. So farmers farming cash crops, but these crops required more fertilizers and pesticides. It demands more fertilizers and pesticides. Even crop failure is very common in these crops. So to adjust that loss, again the farmer will cultivate cash crops next year. Like that, if crop fails continuous 2 or 3 years, then farmers get debts, so then they are committing suicide. Okay, so farmers can instead pay attention to allied activities such as poultry, fishing and dairying, since they provide new opportunities for farmers. Although there has been increase in production of other food items over the years, it is not sufficient to meet the minimum dietary requirements. So the population increasing year by year. Now the India's population is more than 130 crores, but the available agricultural land is same, we cannot stretch it. So already the farmers are trying to increase the production more, but it is not sufficient to the people. So nutritionists suggest that every person in India should 300 grams of eat 300 grams of vegetables and 100 grams of fruits in a day. But whereas per person availability of these food grains is 180 and 58 grams only. They suggested 300 grams of vegetable they have to take, but only 180 grams of vegetables are available and 100 grams of fruits should take per day, but 58 grams are available. Similarly, per person requirement of eggs is 180, whereas the availability of eggs is 30 per year per person. So when we discussed about these issues, so many students express that no sir, we are having more availability. So here we are not discussing about our well-to-do families. Here we are discussing about the poor families and who are living in rural areas, in slum areas, in urban areas also. So the availability of food for them. So one of my friend says that, sir, we are using 3 eggs to prepare a omelette. We take more than 5 dozens per week. So we are not talking about one person or some families. Here we are discussing about whole families. The people who are working in unorganized sector, the people who are living under poverty line. Okay, they don't have the purchasing capacity. So most of the goods, all luxury goods also available in the market, but everyone cannot buy those goods. Why? Because they don't have a purchasing capacity, they don't have a adequate income, they don't have a chances, they don't have a facilities to earn more money. Here we are not discussing about Mukesh Ambani. We are discussing about the rickshaw puller, auto driver. Okay, so when you see that situation, so then the availability of eggs only 30 per person per year. The meat dietary requirements are 11 kilograms per year, whereas the per person availability is only 3.2 kilograms. There is a less production and more price. Now the cost of the meat, chicken is nearly 250 rupees, mutton 850 rupees, and also the same way the fish rate also increased. We require 300 million milliliters of milk, whereas the per person availability is 210 milliliters a day. So most of the Telangana people use less milk products, even though those are not available in the market, not availability per person. Okay, so the situation like this, farmers thus require support in terms of inputs and market opportunities for diversification to other food items. When the farmers will change their crop pattern or divorce food production, then when they have the support from the government, from the people, from the market in terms of inputs as well as market opportunities, then only they can change their crop pattern. Farmers may have to be supported and guarded against market risks that they face in the new situation. Next, here agriculture diversification. So shall we take example of one village? So Madinapur, has red literate soil. So the village was Kaspal in the Brokalla Gram Panchayat area. So here in this village, almost all families have tube wells to do agriculture. So the bank gave credit to them to water development. So when we talked with Hari, Prasad, Samantha, Chitto, Maiti and other people, so nobody farms more than 2 acres of land. They have very little land. The technology is fairly good. The original seeds came from the university, although there is a little replacement in paddy. So most of the people cultivate paddy there, but very few people are cultivating diverse food items. So, but they make more money from cash crops, and it is vegetables all the way. Potatoes are craze. The seeds come from commercial companies and are expensive. A great thing that happened on the way was dairying. Almost all of them have between 3 to 5 cows. The women folk look after them. This is now spreading. Farmers know the best pulses seeds come from Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Their own mustard is good. The land slopes up from the river about 2 or 300 meters up, and a distance away a check out another village. Around half of the population is poor. It is a monocrop region with the second crop. If any, depending on the rains, yields are low. Many answers are impossible, but without a plan and government effort, it would be cruel joke to talk about diversification to them. So here in this village, most of the people cultivating a same crop, monocrop region. So if you cultivate only single crop like chili, like tobacco, like cotton, like other crop, so what will happen? The land will be degraded. Okay, the fertility will be decrease in the lands. The yield will be become go down. Okay, so they don't get more income. So like that, here there is no agricultural diversification in our country. So note that agricultural diversification may impact food grain production sometimes. If you change the crops totally, so that will be impact the food grain production. If you convert all the agricultural land into crops, cash crops, then what will happen? So food grain production will be decreased, availability will be decreased, then prices will be increased. This might give rise to a policy dilemma that has to be handled through careful planning, since resources are diverted to non-food grain uses. Either water, either lands are converting to non-food grain uses. Food grain production may come down. So if the food grain production come down, what will happen? Already you know. So prices will be increased. Scarcity will be created. So people will suffer. Okay? Like that. India's per capita availability is very low when we compare the same with countries in Europe. Europe having 700 grams per person and USA 850 grams. Already we have discussed in the previous class. In 2071 only 469 grams available per person. In 2011 that is 510, and in 2020 490 grams food grains are available per person. It is very less when you compare with the other European countries. Even European countries don't have agricultural lands, even though the availability of per person is more when you compare within India. Okay, the decline in the level of per capita availability of food grains is something to be worried about for India's food security. So we can't provide. There is no access to food to all the people if it is created like this. So the poorer households exert more energy and depend much more on food grains as their source of energy intake. The policies should aim to increase production of food grains and other types of food simultaneously. So most of the poor depend on this regular food for energy. So if there is no access, then the poor people will suffer. Clear? Next, access to food. So how much food is producing? We have discussed how much food should be available. So another point is, so how much food is available for the people. The next important aspect of food security is the access to food. So it is not sufficient to produce food grains and other items. Everyone should be able to buy them for consumption. So government provide food in the market. They don't provide with free of cost to every people, every person. Okay, so it is everyone able to access the minimum food requirement? So we can say that no. Okay, so because of their they don't have a purchasing capacity. The cost of the food grains are more in the market. You may recall what you studied in the previous classes. Food we eat gets burnt in our body and produces heat, and this is measured in terms of calories. This helps to do our work. If you eat less or less nutritious food, the calorie intake of our body becomes less, and hence we may find it difficult to work, or our healthy health may get deteriorated. So when we take less food, less caloric food, what will happen? Our immunity power will be decreased. Then now we are seeing facing that who are having less health, so they are affecting diseases. Okay, a standard of 2100 kilocalories per day in urban areas and 2400 kilocalories in rural areas is the recommended food intake per day. So how much you should take? Standard food 2100 kilocalories per urban area. Who are living in urban area, the people, working people, should take 2100 kilocalories, and in rural area that should be 2400 more, 300 when you compare with urban areas. Why? Because they work in agricultural fields, hard work, so they required more food. But this much is available in our country? No. How much is available? Very less. Only 490 kilograms are available per person. Got it? So here one graph is given. Calorie intake per person in rural India, rural areas. So first 25% of people are taking only 1624. Actually standard kilocalories, how much they have to take? 2400 kilocalories, but they are taking 25% only 1624 kilocalories, and another 25% 1900. Third quarter 2143, means 75% of the people taking less than 2400 kilocalories per day in rural areas, and another 25% are taking 2521 kilocalories. So when you take the average is very less. Even 75% of the people are not getting sufficient food. Okay, so the national average caloric levels in both rural and urban areas are below the needed caloric requirements. Also, the consumption of calories has gone down between 1983 and 2004. This is shocking since, as we have seen, that our country is growing at a rapid rate. Production of goods and services have increased multiple times, even though the availability of food is very less. So here in newspaper today given that today or yesterday given that so more 10 or 100 capital industrialists earned more income in the COVID-19 period. Their wealth is increased multiple. So one example given, the Anil Mukesh Ambani, who is the earning the income of the 1 minute income of the Mukesh Ambani, okay, is equal to 3 years income of one normal person. Okay, and 1 hour income of Mukesh Ambani's income to earn a normal person, he will take 10,000 years. One normal person can take 10,000 years to earn equivalent to 1 hour income of Mukesh Ambani. So like that. So here when you take an average income of the country is more, but the difference is between rich and poor is increasing day by day. Especially in this moment, COVID-19 time, the difference was increased between poor and rich. Clear? So total the 90% of the people suffered in this time economically, but 10% of people gained through these conditions. So this is not all average hide the disparities in distribution, whereas the very well of consume food that goes beyond the recommended calories requirements for a large proportion of the population. The food intake is inadequate to provide the calories required. So 80% of people in rural areas in India consume food that is below that earlier caloric standard. In the graph 3, you can see that lowest calorie intake is for the people who are the poorest in the rural areas, and it is way below the recommended standard 2400. Okay, so why they are unable to take more caloric food? Because they don't have a purchasing power. People don't have adequate incomes to buy food. There are various reasons for this. Example, poverty, unemployment, public facilities. Okay, so because of that people are not able to purchase sufficient food. Next, public distribution system, PDS, already we have discussed in the previous class. So the government after independence, government tried to implement PDS system, midday meal, Sanganwadi, to access food to the people. So here ration shops are important means for people to access food grains in India. One survey was conducted in 2019 to know whether families in different states procure food grains from public distribution system, fair price shop, and how much are they part of the total food grains consumption. So another table given we will discuss. So most of the people are getting access to food from the PDS system. So PDS providing food security to the people. Okay, next, here take the example of that. In whole India, percentage share of purchases from PDS rice and wheat in 2009 and 10. All India, so wheat they purchased from the PDS for their consumption, 28% of from their consumption. So 28% they purchased from PDS system, rice 39%, remaining 72% they purchase from outside the market. This is the defect of the PDS system. So they are providing very less part of the consumption from through PDS. So with less price, but the actual price of the other part is more in the market. So Tamil Nadu, 91% of their consumption they purchase from the ration shops. Only they depend on market 9% of food grains. Next, combined Andhra Pradesh, 84% they purchase from the PDS system, and only they depend on market for remaining 16%. So here when you compare with other northern states, so southern states are more uh, taking food grains from the PDS system. So Assam 30, Bihar only 13. They are access food from the PDS system, but they are depending 87 markets for 87% of food. Okay, means their more income they are spending on food grains only. Okay, like that. Next, studies indicate that southern states of India have a good record in public distribution system. Notably, these are the states that have followed a universal PDS system, which means that low cost food grains would be available to all. This is in contrast to other states where poor families have been identified and food grains are sold to at different prices to poor and non-poor. Okay, so even among the poor, the very poor have different entitlements or facilities or guarantees for access. For example, the Antyodaya card holders are entitled to get 35 kgs for food grains per month per family. So like that, so they identified a different income group people and they issued white card, pink card, Antyodaya card. So through that, the government is providing access to food to them. Okay, next another one is buffer stock. This is more important. This is one of the short answer question. So here the standard of recommended food intake per day, 2100 grams in urban and 2400 kilograms in rural. Also this is also bit question, so you may find in examinations. So what is the meaning of buffer stock? So here buffer stock means the stock of food grains, mainly wheat and rice procured and maintained by the government through Food Corporation of India. FCI is called the buffer stock. That is also called minimum stock. What they maintained by the Food Corporation of India is called the buffer stock. So the Food Corporation of India purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is a surplus food production. So the farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. This price is called minimum support price. So the MSP is declared by government agency every year. So government pay the minimum support price. If the market price is more than minimum support price, the farmers can sell their goods in the market. No need to sell to government. So when the market price is less, the farmers usually sell their production to the government. So that also fixed priorly. So now in our country the issue is going on. Farmers acts were implemented by or tried to impose by the central government. Some farmers are fought against these agricultural acts. Okay, now the issue is going on. The state and central governments procure nearly one third of food grains from farmers. So these food grains are distributed to people through various mechanisms like PDS system, midday meals, Anganwadis, okay, 5 rupees lunch, okay. So even they supply to the hostels, okay, so like that. Next, for that, government purchase from the farmers. In recent terms, the government agencies are procuring more food grains than what is required to meet the public distribution system. If government stocks keep increasing year after year, less is available in the market. So the government has been often criticized that it does not properly distribute these food grains to the needy people. Sometimes government also exports these food grains to another countries. So other countries export. So they earn some income through this, but sometimes when scarcity is created in the country, then they will stop the exports. Even recently we faced the onions prices increased more than 100 rupees, and potatoes price also increased more than 50 rupees per kg. At the time they stopped the export to other countries. Okay, so but do you think it is good? Is it good idea to export food grains and earn a small income when a large section of people within the country are not able to access food grains? Definitely no. But sometimes they should export. So based on the agreements between the countries, sometimes when the excess production is there, then the prices will be fall if you don't export the food grains to other countries. Recently, the tomato farmers, so they leaved the yield in the fields only. Why? Because the price of the tomato, they get only less 2 rupees per kg only. So it is not meet the expenses to collect the tomatoes from the fields. So that's why they left the yield in the fields only. So at this time, so if the more production get at the time, that should be export to other countries. But at the time of scarcity time, the government should not export food grains to other countries. Okay, clear? So next part of the lesson we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.